guys, it's Nadine and welcome back to my channel. I'm sure you're gonna love it here. We typically do watch with me movie style vlogs, Friday night, Saturday night, cozy wine, a good movie type vlog. But I really didn't have any time to vlog this week. Like no time. Like I didn't get a chance to pull out my camera because of circumstances, blah blah blah. So we're just going to do things a little bit differently today. I'm still hoping to upload this video by Friday to, because, consistency is the name of the game. We're trying to stay consistent on the channel, okay? So we're going to do a movie roundup. I did watch two horror movies this week. One not so good, one really, really good. So I thought I would group them together with the movie we watched last week, which was Milk and Cereal. Yeah. So we're going to go ahead and review Milk and Cereal. If you're watching along with us, then you know what we're talking about. If you haven't watched the Milk and Cereal yet, it's linked in my previous video. So go back and watch that video, watch with me, or just go ahead and watch the actual YouTube video. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and round up 3 movies that we've watched. Milk and Cereal, which is amazing. We also got to watch, I also decided to watch The Witch, more on that in a few. And I also watched The Deliverance. I have some thoughts on that. But yeah, let's go ahead and start with Milk and Cereal. So last weekend we watched Milk and Cereal. It's a found footage type film that was released by the channel. Oh my god, I'm totally blanking on the channel, but I will put the channel link in the description and I'll pop it up somewhere here on the screen. They typically do comedy skits, but lately they have been releasing little horror shorts that have been, actually not lately, it's been some years now. And I kind of realized when I went back on the channel, I realized I watched one of their horror shorts a while back, and they're really talented. Like when it comes to horror, some of these horror movie directors need to take note, because baby, Milk and Cereal was a good film. Like for me, 10 out of 10. What made it so good, what made it so good was different aspects. I like that it seemed so realistic. It blurred the lines between what is funny and what is not so funny, or how you can push someone. And also I feel like the whole he's the guy next door, he's just a little weird, but is he weird enough to be a serial killer? No. But is he really a serial killer? Yes. Like I just loved the unhinged mess. Like I was here for it. Sip some coffee. So I was here. It was just like a fun, unhinged roller coaster ride. Like they did a spectacular job on Milk and Cereal. I thoroughly enjoyed. Like I haven't enjoyed a horror movie like that in some time. And it wasn't the blood, it wasn't the gore, it wasn't the guts. It didn't have none of that, but it was just so surprisingly well scripted and well written. Like it just started off as a prank, and you know something's gonna go wrong, but you didn't expect it to go that way. I don't know. They managed, as someone who's seen a lot of horror movies in her time, they still managed to surprise me. Like him, spoilers. I'm gonna spoil the movie. If you haven't seen it, stop watching, I'll go see it and then come back. If you, yeah, him being a serial killer and I don't know, I didn't really see it coming, but then it made sense once it was revealed, like who he really is. Like the fact that he's so casual with it. It's kind of giving me Dexter a little bit. Yeah, it's kind of giving me Dexter vibes, but unpolished, like an unpolished baby Dexter. That's what it was giving me. The fact that he was so jealous of his friend and he just wanted to get him back. And the main part for me is how he got his friend to go so far. Like you could have been you could mess with people's head so easily, especially if you're a good manipulator. You could mess with people's head so easily. Like He could have totally gone to the cops. And he should have known. And I feel like the friend also should have known, like, maybe you are a little bit too calm and too good at this. Like, at that moment when they was at the, I think there was in the middle of nowhere when he shot the guy. Like, that's what it should have clicked. Like, baby, you have done this before several times because you are way too calm, way too collected, and way too, you know exactly what to do. And that's why I really like the ending too. Like, I really enjoyed, like, God, all the names are escaping right now, but I'm really enjoying the guy getting his lick back at Milk for kind of manipulating him and pushing him in this whole situation. Like, I really enjoyed him getting his lick back. I love the ending, like, perfect ending. Like, for a horror short, like, I would pay to go see that in the theaters. Like, that was really good. Like, it's really raw, really real, something that could easily happen. Like, taking a joke or accent way too far, which can happen, especially with a group of friends and peer pressure and things like that. And I really enjoyed it. Like, kudos to these guys. Like, please keep giving us more horror shows. It was superb. Love it. 10 out of 10. If you haven't seen it, if you're a horror fan, or if you're just a movie fan, if you're just a short fan, period, definitely go and watch Milk and Cereal. It's free. It's on YouTube. Just go to the channel that will be linked here. I'll put it here again, and I'll have it in the caption below. Okay, so we just rated Milk and Cereal, which was a really good movie. So I've seen 3 movies, like I mentioned before. I was so hyped about this movie. Why? Because there's not enough blacks in horror. Let's just keep it a buck. If we're talking about black actors, black directors in horror movie, we're usually always the sidekick, never giving main character energy. There should be a lot more black representation, that black directors and black actors and actresses in the horror movie genre, because there are a lot of people that look like me that love horror, and we would like to see ourselves represented with new, fresh takes, ideas. That's why I love Jordan Peele so much, for how he came out the gate with, like, oh, he brought it. Okay, now let's talk about Deliverance. I was excited, but I was also skeptical because I know Lee Daniels' work, and it does not give horror. It does not give horror. So I was a little bit like, I don't really know if people gonna be able to pull that off. So Deliverance is actually based on a true story about a family who moved into a Philadelphia home. Um, Philadelphia home who and the home seems to be haunted, possessed, portal to hell, all that good stuff. And it turned out this was like several witnesses encountered the possession and the strange things happening in the home, including law enforcement, including friends and family of the family living in the home. So finding out that this was an actual true story baffled me. Okay, rewind, going back to the actual movie. The movie started off really, really good. It really gave drama. I really liked Day's acting. Her acting was really, really good. Like, if I'm taking away everything from the movie itself, her performance, except in that last scene, hated that last scene, but her performance was really, really good. That's one thing can't take away from that movie. The movie started off good. Then enters Glenn Close, the mom. She also portrayed what was a typical. Oh, Glenn Close her character felt a little stereotypical to me, but she did do a good job playing the character. Now, the first half of the movie was pretty good. It didn't give. It wasn't too scary. It was a little. It was definitely creepy. It was a little bit scary. The performances was really good. But then came the last half of the movie, which felt, I don't know, it felt so disconnected from the first half of the movie. I don't know if it should have been a limited series or maybe a series or maybe, I don't know. I couldn't put my finger on it, but something in the movie just felt, something in the second half of the movie just felt disconnected or disingenuous to the first half. The first half felt like a creepy, drama-filled Lifetime, really good Lifetime movie. That's what it felt like, the first half. Then the second half went so left, and I was like, it was almost comical. It turned into it felt like it turned into a horror parody. I did not enjoy the second half of the movie at all. And then going back to listen to going back to hear how the film strayed away from the actual true story, like making the main character's mom white instead of keeping her black. Like, what did that add to the movie? What did her and the relationship with her and the nurse, her having cancer, having the relationship with the nurse, what did that add to the movie? Like, I feel like that whole part, they could have taken that whole part out. The mama and the boyfriend, that whole part, they could have taken away. Even though I do understand they're trying to explain the generational trauma from the mom, but they could have did that in a different way. I don't know. That piece didn't make sense. And then the last half of the movie was just way too like left for me. And then again, if you're gonna go based off a true story, I understand there's ways to like, I don't understand that things are not gonna be to the T exactly like how it was based, like how the true story was told. But the way they went about it, the way the director went about it, I just didn't understand. It left me a little bit confused. I feel like this movie had so much potential to be a really good black cast, black director horror movie, but then it went left. So I'm gonna go ahead and watch. There's a really good documentary on the actual story that's based off that Deliverance is based off of, and I think it's on Tubi. Again, I'll have that information in the caption below. But I'm gonna actually watch the documentary, which people say is even scarier than the movie. I don't know. Like, if you already have the documentary and it's a scary documentary, why make a movie that's subpar to the documentary? Like, 4 out of 10. Now, last movie I seen, let's talk about The Witch. Now, I watched The Witch because of, how did I fall onto this movie? Oh, I was watching a thread on Facebook, Meta, whatever, on really good horror movies, and somebody was like, "Ooh, The Witch is so underrated." So I love a comment like that. I love, like, when a horror movie is saying something is underrated, meaning it's really good, but it's not like high on the radar of horror movies. Oh, that tells me it's gonna be good. That tells me that's an indicator of it's gonna be a good movie. It's just any drama. Just don't tell anybody I told you. But yeah, so you can watch it on Prime for free if you go through the trial. And I have so many thoughts. The Witch is about a family set back in the, I want to say, Puritan times, Pilgrim times, when, witches was running rampant, when they thought witches was running rampant. So it starts off as this family, and they live in this nice, cute little town. Excuse me. It's set in England, right? So they live in this nice little town, but turns out the daddy is not cool with how the town is running, like their religious sector. He's like, I don't believe in exactly what y'all believe in, so I'm not gonna follow the rules. So town is like, oh, you're not gonna follow the rules? Okay, so you can mosey on out of the town then, because right here, this is what we do. We do in A, B, C, and D. And if you want to do F and G and whatever, you gotta go. So they decide to go move out of the town away from everybody they didn't know. The wife was pissed, but she stood by her man 10 toes down. And the father moved them to closer to the woods, like this rural area where they can like set up their farm. They had the little animals, the horses, you know. It was like, okay, we're gonna just start from scratch, build our own farm, do what we do. Now, fast forward, they're trying to set up their farm, building their crops, doing what they need to do to survive, because you know winter's coming. And the baby disappears. Homegirl, so there's the mom, dad. So mom, dad, older sister, older brother, and two younger siblings, boy and girl. So the baby, number 5. So the older sister was watching the baby, playing peekaboo with the baby. Here she go playing peekaboo, real cute. Opens her eyes, baby is snatched, and all she sees is something running off into the woods. She can't really make out exactly what it was. Running off into the woods with said baby. Baby was never found. Fast forward. Mom clearly hates older daughter. Blames her for baby disappearing. Daddy is really noticing that, ooh, crops are thinning. Things aren't growing. Shit is not going well. Food is getting scarce. Winter's about to come. And we're not progressing. Older sister feels horrible guilt for letting a baby get snatched. And then all that. Then turns out, so the movie, I don't know, there's no real entity. So there is a witch. So okay, it turns out there's a witch or witches living in the woods. But the story really is about family. The story really is about, are you gonna stick together or not? Or are you gonna let outside forces come and rip you apart? That's basically, I feel like, what the theme of the movie is. So the father takes the boy one day out into the woods. Mama told him not to take that boy out into the woods, but he did it anyways. And the witch got hold of him. Somehow got into him. And then mommy and daddy starts thinking that the older sister is the witch because the baby. First, baby disappears on your watch. Then the boy went into the woods again with the older sister when he came back possessed. Meanwhile, it wasn't really her. It was all coincidence. But the mom and dad needed it's like the mom needed somebody to blame, and she's not gonna blame some entity in the woods. She's gonna blame her daughter. The dad tried to stand up for the daughter as much as he could, but in the end, he still turned on her. Even the little kids thought she was the witch. Like, girl, they did this girl so bad. And in the end, she was like, well, if you think I'm a witch, then shit, I might as well just be a witch. If that's what it's gonna take. But basically, the story is really about humanity and family. And are you gonna stick together, or are you not gonna stick together, or are you gonna turn, or are you gonna be disloyal? And also, it was really about the dad's pride. Like, his pride led to his family's downfall. Like, if he did, like, they could have stayed, they could have been moved back to the town or found a different town. But he just wanted to do things his way, and he just thought he knew better. And he felt like God was going to keep him, which I understand that, but you have to be realistic as well. Like, God was telling him signs, telling him that this was not the right decision, but he was just like, nope. This is what the decision I've made, and this is what's going to be. And it basically ended to all of their downfall. Like, daddy died, mom died, even all the siblings died. She was the last woman standing, and she decided to just join the coven and be a witch and live her little happy witch life in the forest, it turns out the goat was the goat in the family, because the family had animals, goats, horses, pigs, whatever, and the goat was like literally possessed. Was doing like the witch's bidding. But again, this is an A24 movie. This is this movie. So this movie. Oh, and because it was an A24 movie, is why I decided to watch it as well. A24 brings it like man. A24 is like the Blumhouse of this generation. Like they just make such good quality horror movies. I think what I'm gonna do in an upcoming video is like rank my favorite to least favorite A24 movies. Because The Witch was really good. Again, I love when they make movies that basically saying it's not the monsters in the it's not the monsters in the woods or the monsters under your bed or the monsters in the closet that you have to fear. It's that person right next to you. It's that person that you think loves you, or is that person that is supposed to be loyal to you or you to them. It's the closest person to you that can turn. That's the person you need. That's the person you need to be watching your back for. That's the person you need to be watching out for. Not the boogeyman, not the devil, not the monsters, not none of them, but thy neighbor, thy family, thy friends. Oh, you need to watch yourself. That's kind of the core of a lot of A24 movies. And I really like the aspects because I minored, I majored in psychology, so the human brain and how it works and manipulation and psychosis and things like that always fascinate me. That's why movies like psychological movies are like it for me. I love psychological horror. That's probably my favorite genre of movies. If you have if you have any psychological horror movies or any horror movies that you feel are underrated, gems that not enough people are talking about, that scared your socks off, go ahead and please drop them in the comments below, because I'm always looking for something new. Baby, September just started, but I'm already looking forward to October. October is upon us. It's Halloween season. It's a horror movie season, so this is my time to shine, okay? I love it. I'm looking forward to all the new releases. Looking forward to watching more horror movies. If you want to watch with me, hopefully we'll have another watch me vlog coming next Friday. If you enjoyed this chit chat, movie roundup, movie review, sit down with me type video, also let me know in the comments. I will be glad to make more, because if there's anything I like to talk about, it's movies. So that's it for today. Again, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Share. Let me know your thoughts, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.